Hey there guys, Guy with the Camera 23 back again with another Blu-ray and DVD update, this time for the month of November 2013. Now first off, before I start, I want to give a massive thank you to DVD Collector 100 aka Chloe. She gave me a shout out in her, I think it was her last update, possibly the update before. And it just means a lot that, you know, I'm not a massive YouTuber. There's not too many people that kind of actively really like my videos. And it just really means a lot that a big YouTuber like her can kind of take the time out of her update to give someone like me a shout out. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Chloe. And I'll put a link to her her channel in the description box as well. And the other thing before I start is I've given myself a new rule now that at least every new release, possibly everything I actually buy, I must watch within 1 week of purchasing, because I have far too many titles I have not watched yet. I mean, I've had Born on the 4th of July for the best part of a year and I still haven't watched it. So it'll give me a good chance to kind of I guess kind of know whether I want to keep them, because some of these films that I don't even know if I like because I haven't watched them. So it'll give me a chance to kind of whittle down the collection to films I'm actually going to watch. So that's my new rule. So yeah. So first off, we'll get started for this part with the sessions. Now this was £20 for the longest time, ridiculous price. But looking in HMV a few days ago, about a week ago, a week and a half, and I saw this in the 3 for £20 deal in HMV. Now I couldn't find two other titles I wanted, so I just bought this on its own for £8.99. I watched this last Saturday. Very good film. Got Oscar nominations for both John Hawkes and Helen Hunt. Just really well made film, really uplifting about this guy who he contracted polio as a child, and he lives his life in an iron lung, and he has a feeling that he's going to die soon. So he hires this sex surrogate paid by Helen Hunt, who basically loses virginity to. It's really nice, really well acted, really well directed, just really good film. Wanting to watch this for ages, and I watched it last week and I really enjoyed it. So that's these sessions. Next up we have Robots. One of these kind of not really childhood favourites of mine. I was about 14 I think when I saw it at the cinema, I believe, possibly a little bit older. And yeah, really, it's one of those first films, animated films, that made me realise that animation weren't just for like really little kids, because there were jokes in this that I understood that other people didn't, which I thought was really cool. Again, it's just kind of brings back good memories. Really colourful, great story, great animation. So yeah, that's Robots. And then next up we have The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. I have Part 1 in the bookcase just over there. And people say to watch this, kind of Part 1 and 2 together, which is what I'm going to do. I don't know when, but I will do. So yeah, 3 for £17 at Amazon. So yeah. Next up is an upgrade from DVD. It is the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. I remember seeing this in the cinema when it came out, and even then I knew that it was far too long. Well, maybe not too long. It's a long film. It's the best part of 3 hours, about 2 hours 40 minutes I think. And it's one of the things that kind of has like 6 different endings. Like you think it's going to end, then something else happens. And it's basically about the story of Jesse James, who was a bandit I think, and who was kind of took Robert Ford under his wing and basically betrayed him. And I believe he shot him in the back, but I can't be sure of that. I think he did, but I'm not quite sure. But I remember quite liking it, but like I say, it was quite long. So, but yeah, it's a good film anyway. So yeah, that's that. And then next up we have, first off, a few Christmas films. I know it's a little bit early. I mean, well, it's enough anyway. Well, these first two are related, so I'll show them at the same time. Sorry, wrong way around. We have Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. Now, Chloe blew my mind when she said she hadn't seen these ones. They're absolute classic, just classic Christmas films. The first one is a great film. The second one I enjoy quite a lot more actually. Basically, it's kind of in a different in a different kind of city or whatever. When this is just at home, but in this is like everything's new, you know. Basically, he has his dad's credit card and he stays in this really nice hotel, buys a load of kind of room service and stuff. Just really, really, really good. I mean, this one is good as well, but I'd really prefer this one quite a bit more. That's Home Alone 1 and 2. And then we have Jingle All the Way, another one of those films that whenever I see it on television, I just kind of sit down and watch it. It's quite cheesy and very 90s, but I really quite enjoy it. So yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, great actor. So yeah, Jingle All the Way. Oh man. Next up we have The Wee Man. This is based on the life of, I never remember his name, but Paul Ferris. And basically he's kind of second in command to the kind of the head of the Scottish, I don't know if it's the mafia or kind of the big kind of crime ring, and basically he takes him under his wing and he kind of rises through the ranks. It's nothing really haven't seen before, but I really quite liked it. Saw this on Sky Premiere the other week and I really quite enjoyed it, and quite cheap as well. It's about, I think, £5.60, £5.10 or something like that. But yeah, very good, really good film. I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to get it on Blu-ray. So that's The Wee Man. Next up is I guess I call it a box set, but it's just one kind of film, and it's the Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes Unite. And this is basically the one thing I didn't know that I didn't actually know when I bought it was it basically just the cutscenes from Lego Batman 2 with kind of new footage mixed in there, which is a bit lazy to be quite honest, but I mainly got it because it was only £8. It's a Tesco exclusive. It has a little Clark Kent minifigure, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, be worth a watch, I think. I mean, the game is really funny, but it's a bit lazy, you know. But anyway, next up, a couple of kind of loan DVDs. First up, I'll show the box set, and it is Father Ted: The Complete Collection. Now, I did own the box set before this, but I knew that this was coming out, so I sold that one. I'll trade it into CEX at least. And again, if anyone's seen Father Ted, you know how good this sitcom is. Absolutely hilarious. Just really, just everything about it is just really, really funny. And this contains a few brand new extras, including new commentaries and new Channel 4 documentary. I might watch now actually. But again, Father Ted, hilarious show. I have never watched it before. It's basically three priests living on an island in this, what do they call it? Diocese? No, it's not. But whatever. In this, basically it's basically a house on a rock, more or less. And it's basically just them kind of getting into adventures kind of thing, which is really, really funny. And the lone kind of Amore DVD, we have Trouble with the Curve, starring Clint Eastwood, Amy Adams and Justin Timberlake and John Gumban as well. I watched this again last Saturday. And it's a decent enough film, you know. It's nothing kind of to blow you away, but it's a good kind of road trip movie. Basically, Clint Eastwood plays this talent scout for baseball. Kind of goes around different cities to find players to sign to different baseball teams, and basically his daughter kind of tags along with him, and it's kind of the relationship between those two, and then Justin Timberlake comes on, kind of falls in love with Amy Adams' character, and that kind of relationship takes off. I mean, it's a good enough film, but it's not a film that I'd kind of want to watch anytime soon again. But this is only £3 from HMV, from Tesco, and considering it's only been out for a couple of months, I thought that was pretty good. One of those things that in the UK did not get a Blu-ray release, but I'm not particularly that bothered, to be quite honest. The one thing I did notice though is that on the US version there is two featurettes, one of which is featured on this DVD. Where's the other one? It's one featurette, for God's sake. What's the reasoning behind it? I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole kind of US versus UK debate thing, but really kind of bothered me. But anyway, it's not a film I wanted to watch anytime soon again, but decent enough one watch really. Now back to Blu-rays, a couple of US Region A imports. Well, not imports, but yeah. What Maisie Knew, basically about this kid in Manhattan, I think, who was kind of caught between her mother and her father in a custody battle. Her mother and father played by very weird pairing of Julianne Moore and Steve Coogan. Really well shot though. It's one of the kind of kind of harks back to like the Americana of like the mid 2000s and stuff like that. But really, really good. Saw it at cinema. I mean, it's a good enough film, but and there's something about it that was kind of felt quite generic. Really, basically like a remake of Kramer versus Kramer, more or less. But well shot and everything. It's a Blu-ray and DVD combo. Basically, I was looking on AV forums, and someone was selling this and the next title for £10 each. I thought, why the hell not? So this is the first one, Amazing You, and the second one was the Bling Ring. Came out on the US Blu-ray, I think like a week or two before the UK one. The difference between this and the UK one is this one has a slip cover, which is quite nice. It's just the same as on the back of the actual case. But and the other difference is in the UK version it has an extra, I think a Q&A or an interview or something, which I'm not particularly that bothered about, to be quite honest. But basically got this because I mean it was cheaper than the UK version, and it's had a slip cover and everything. So I thought, why the hell not? And I really quite enjoyed this one. I saw it at cinema. It was one of those films that if I didn't know the true story, I never would have believed it. Although saying that, if it wasn't a true story, I wouldn't have to believe it because it wouldn't be true. Anyway, but really good film, starring Emma Watson. Let's have a look. Israel Broussard, Katie Chang, Thaisa Farmiga, who in American Horror Story, and written and directed by Sofia Coppola, even, sorry. Francis Ford Coppola's daughter. So yeah, really well made film. Like I say, it's quite kind of outlandish at times, but it's a true story, so I can't really complain at that. Then next up we have This Is the End. Absolutely love this film. I watched it last night. It's a really funny comedy. Basically, everyone's playing themselves, and Jay Baruchel comes into Los Angeles to hang out with Seth Rogen. They go to James Franco's house for a party. Then the apocalypse starts happening, kind of earthquakes and kind of people being sucked up in blue lights into the sky. But really, basically, and then they kind of hole in James Franco's house, and they kind of try basically survive. But it's really funny. And the one thing I will say is that if you're not a fan of any of these people, there's nothing in it for you really, because it's very kind of it's character centric, and as the actors are playing kind of fictionalized versions, it's like extras, it's like the TV show Extras. It's kind of playing kind of outlandish versions of themselves, but really funny. One of my favourite comedies of the year, possibly my favourite top 10 of the year, possibly. But there are a few more films to come out in this year, so I never know. But again, the one thing I did notice about this is the Blu-ray quality is very good. It's kind of reference grade quality, and the main reason is because of that banner there, mastered in 4K. And yeah, but I always thought that the only 4K Blu-rays would work in kind of 4K TV, but yeah, looked really good, kind of reference grade quality, which I thought was amazing. Quite a nice slip cover. One thing I also noticed when I bought this is that when it was shrink wrapped, it was shrink wrapped kind of with the slip cover on, so even the slip cover was underneath the plastic, which I thought was pretty cool. So This Is the End. So that has been part 1 of my Blu-ray and DVD update for the month of November 2013. Now there's a big week next week, well tomorrow actually. We've got Monsters University, Pacific Rim, Great Gatsby, got a steelbook coming of that, The Hobbit Extended Edition, got a steelbook coming of that as well. Then we've got Derek Series 1, which I've got from Amazon, and also the Blu-ray release of Matilda, which is going to be absolutely amazing. It's got this extra on it that is kind of a cast reunion, that if it's like more than like a 5-minute featurette, it possibly might be the best special feature on a Blu-ray this year. Just a really good kind of childhood favourite of mine. So I might film an out and about, because I always promise that but I never do, but it's going to be a big week, so I might do. So yeah, that's it. Like I said at the beginning, I'll put DVD Collect 100's link to her channel down below. And yeah, that's about it. So until next time, please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.